All right, our Linda's in. How you doing? You all right?
Yes.
Yo.
Yes, I am.
And it's being filmed. Andrew's filming this for Facebook. I love it that when he turned the camera on just before we came on air, we're both sitting and writing, looking like the newsreaders who are busy in the studios and the TV.
I was doing
You're doing wee squiggles and I was doing basically the same, but it looks kind of, whoa, like journalists sitting there doing stuff,
That's in your head. You like to think that we look like that.
Yeah, but that's how the news teams, and they can't do it now. They used to do, when the camera would pull out at the end of the news and they'd grab their papers and kind of straighten them all up like that. Now they can't do it because they've all got iPads and computers in front of them. They can't grab a computer and go.
So what did they do with the paper? What did they do?
It just looked good. I don't know. They could have had their shopping lists on there, And a wee note: don't forget to get milk on the way home because the kids have nothing for their cereal in the morning.
Smiley faces showing them to each other.
I know, and they're going, right, okay, and that's it from the news around the world at 10 o'clock. We're back again tomorrow morning. And they're shuffling with kids' artwork and all, class.
Good.
But it looks good, always looks. And then they sit and look at each other like, and you wonder what they're saying,
Is that camera off yet?
I know. It's like, if you ever see Anchorman, they're cursing at each other. You stole my bit. Anyway.
Yes.
Did you go and see a film?
Yes, I did, but hold on.
Go ahead. Sorry, was that on when I said clamp it? Go ahead.
I have something to tell you. Did you know that hurricanes, a lot of hurricanes we get here, but did you know that hurricanes with female names are deadlier than ones with male names?
Give my head peace. Does it just average out like that?
No, it's a fact.
It's a fact. Oh, it's a fact.
You asked me that as if I really knew why.
Yeah.
Thank you. But no, apparently that is a fact.
But it's the thing, we've only started doing this over here recently, because I remember there was a Deirdre running around in December, wasn't there? But it's only recently. The Yanks have been doing it for ages. So what way do they do it? They just alternate man's name, girl's name. Is that it?
I will go with that.
Because Katrina wiped out lots of places. No, there was a big one called Andrew in the States that was wild. So there you go. That's your theory out the window. Ask Frank. Frank knows all about the weather.
He does. He does. Stop shaking your head. He definitely does. He knows it all. He does know it.
Right. Did you want to see a film?
Yes, I did. I went to see...
Actually see it? Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I missed a Tory bit, but...
Yeah. How did you miss a bit?
Because I fell asleep.
Hold on. You fell asleep during the film? Right, okay.
I did, I fell asleep. And
then you're going to tell us it was great.
No, I only fell asleep for a little bit, and it was Mary Poppins. And it's been in the pictures a few weeks now, so you would think the interest in it would have died down a good bit, but the film the picture house was 3/4 full.
Yeah.
And it was all big people there.
I was going to say, was it all kids? No,
it was all big people.
I think, a lot of people of a certain generation would have very fond memories of Mary Poppins and would really want to go and see this.
And
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I haven't seen it yet.
The thing to remember about this Mary Poppins, it's not a copy of the first one. This is Mary Poppins Return.
What?
And once you accept it's not a copy...
You mean there's no dodgy American actor with a mad Cockney accent to go, oh, right,
but once you accept that it's not a copy, then you can take to it. But if you go in thinking it's a copy, then you go... Well, it's not as good as the first one.
It's a different story, just Mary Poppins is in it.
Yes, Mary Poppins returned, and Emily Blunt is amazing. And I thought this was a wee bit magical.
Yeah.
So I really liked it.
Does she still do all the room tidies itself and all?
I don't even think she tidied.
Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that yet? Mary Poppins was doing that in the 60s.
I think you think people do that. Because the guys were out there earlier on and I seen them trying to tidy up some of your stuff.
Get away with that.
You need Mary Poppins to help you do that.
Right. No, just click your fingers and the whole room tidies it up.
Maybe in the future we'll be able to do that. Because we only use a little bit of our brain.
Is there singing in this one?
There is, and the songs are good. They are good.
Are they going to be as good as Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and all of that?
No. Well, do you know what? Kids these days are going to be getting to see this one and don't even know the first one, so they're going to love this one. It's just that we've seen the first one and heard the first songs.
How dare you? My kids were made to watch it. These are films that I was brought up on, and you're getting brought up on it too, right? And after this, you're getting your written exam on George Best's 10 greatest goals. There's certain things I had to watch in our house,
Isn't it funny, the things that you carry with you and you don't want to let go? I mean, kids nowadays haven't seen Indiana Jones. Or maybe even the early Star Wars, and you're going, right, these are things that you need to know. Or John Wayne films. So you want to tell
John
them
Wayne,
about
like-
good things. So whenever
No, Scooby-Doo in our house was force-fed as well.
Right, so
It's another one.
whenever you were younger,
You're watching Scooby-Doo.
what were you watching, Roy Rogers?
What do you mean?
I'm only saying whenever you were younger, what were you watching?
We're watching Scooby-Doo. Right? And our kids were made to watch it too. And then Scooby-Doo films came out in more recent times, you know, so it was good. Right. So this film, is it funny? Is it heartbreaking? What's the story? What is the story?
The story is that Mary Poppins goes back to look after the bank's children, and it's not the little children. She's actually back to look after the two children who now are big people.
All right.
Yeah.
So the kids are now growing up and have families of their own, and that's who she's looking after.
Yes.
Right, okay. Go ahead.
But the sister-
and then what happens?
So, well, I can't tell you because then you'd have to see it. But
Come
then,
on, it's not exactly a whodunit. You know what I mean?
it's not that you don't know. So it's actually the boy is grown up and he's going to lose the family house, the bank's family house. So it's a really really nice film.
Tell you what, Mary Poppins is a bit of a financial disaster with that family. She caused a run on the bank in the first one, and now the wee man's going to lose his house. You're boarding up the windows and doors when you walk down the street. Stay away. Johnny, hurricanes are always ladies' names. Anything smaller is a male name, says Eddie at Bangor by the Sea.
Ah.
You see? Yeah. But Andrew was a devastating one. I do remember that. Right, okay.
Or maybe just women are stronger. Sorry.
No, angrier.
Yes.
Angrier. Yes.
Angrier was the word. Angrier was the word.
Without cause.
Yes.
You know, unprompted sort of rage, that kind of thing.
Well, I don't know about that. Well, plenty to be angry
Unwarranted
about.
fury. I think I'm trying to tell somebody something here, if she's listening.
Are you in a doghouse again?
Yeah, well, it's something like a revolving door in our doghouse, you know.
I think it is.
Jimmy Nino's been in touch. Johnny, speaking of iPads replacing paper, I was in my niece's house last night and I asked to borrow a newspaper, and she says, Uncle Jim, listen, get with the times, here's my iPad. That spider never knew what hit it. Blotter. Very good, Jimmy. I like that. Johnny, I took my crowd aged between 12 and 22 to see Mary Poppins Returns. It was class, and the subtle links to the original were missed by them, but I loved it. Class movie, says Paddy in the Island. See, there's a man we didn't even ask for a review.
That was
in
good.
2 lines, he was better than you. In 2 lines. Paddy, you're looking a job.
That was exactly.
And you know, probably, and he just put that through on a text. He was probably washing dishes and hoovering and doing a day's work with the other hand.
But you were
And you're in with a review and we can't get 2 sensible words.
But you were trying to drag more out of me than I could remember.
What was the film about? Tracy in Downpatrick says, I'm 50 this year. I've never seen Mary Poppins. Oh,
Holy
Tracy.
sausage.
I feel like running dial a film and sending them down to your house to make you watch the original.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Really is class. Anyway, what was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say to you. It's probably winning away, you know. You ever be talking to someone and like someone joins the company and it's like, oh God, there's your man, or you know, there's your woman, and they're blathering on and nobody's really listening, and someone will say, "Is that you away then? Is that you away?" You know. And it sounds like a casual, you know, whoa, well, look at the, you know, but I might as well say, you, take yourself off. You, now, out. You bored us to death. No, is that you away? It's real, you know what I mean? And people do say it, you know.
So they do. They definitely.
So listen, I got a Fitbit. What are you laughing at?
Sorry, you showed me that last week. I didn't know.
No, I know, but I mean,
what use is it? Does it tell
do you know
the time?
do you know what was class? Maybe it's a bit of a cheat, but it was drumming last night. You know, so while I was drumming, the thing credited me with about doing 20 miles.
Oh, that's good.
Well, because your hand. Well,
Yeah.
no, it didn't do 20 miles.
Yes.
Because you're doing thousands of hits with your
I
hand.
know you didn't.
You know, but it looks good on the wee graph.
But the thing is, you're still exercising. You're just exercising the top part of your body, and the top part of your body is long.
No.
You've got little
You're drumming.
legs.
You're doing 2 arms and 2 legs.
Ah, right.
You have to use your feet as well.
That's right, yes.
If you're doing it properly, like.
So you do.
How dare you?
So
So
how was
that's,
it?
I was reaching fitness goals and the wee thing was going bing, bing, bing. 90,000 steps, 40 miles. It's class.
So was this you rehearsing for the gig in February?
Yes. It was hard work. Hard work. Physical work.
Good.
See, when you're a kid and you're fit, drumming is fine, but it becomes a physical thing when you're in your early 40s.
Yes, and you're bigger.
Right. Anyway.
Taller.
There's something else I was going to ask you. I can't remember.
I didn't do it. Whatever it is, I didn't do
what?
it. No.
Right.
Like Bart Simpson, I didn't do it.
Johnny, maybe Mary Poppins tidied up when Linda was sleeping. Aha, yes. Took my kids to see Mary Poppins last week and then went home to watch the original. Both brilliant. You see that? Mary Poppins is class, So is your woman, because Julie Andrews had this kind of aura about her.
Yes.
She was kind of, could be quite menacing, actually.
Emily Blunt is lovely. I like
does she
Emily Blunt.
manage to
Anyway,
get it?
she's
Yeah.
really nice. So
Okay.
I think if I was watching it for the first time, I'd be very happy.
All right, no problem. Listen, I'll be back in a minute. Need to
Okay.
check traffic and that. So our Linda's still here, raving about Mary Poppins. Some people have made some comments on it. Hold on. Johnny, I was going to see it by myself over Christmas and the two daughters came with me. 10 out of 10 for the film and the connections to the old film. Made me smile a lot. All right, you see?
I didn't notice any connections to the old one.
You do surprise me. What do you mean?
Were the secret?
There must have been wee references to, remember the time you broke the bank? Remember the time everybody ended up in the dole because you destroyed your dad's bank? That kind of thing,
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I did not notice.
Dear me. Johnny, we saw the new Mary Poppins film in Fulham. I'm not going to spoil it for your listeners, but as Mary floated over the London skyline, I shouted out, I hope you stay clear of Gatwick. Much laughter ensued. John, that is class. That is brilliant. Yes, well done. Like that. That would have made the film for me, Mary Poppins is a drone.
Very good. Here, I wanted to ask you something. You know the way on the end at the end of December, and by the time the year finishes, you're all a wee bit tired, right? You get a wee bit tired.
See the way I'm leaning back?
Why?
But I'm really holding my gut in. Because there's a camera there. I'm leaning back to look casual here, like, how you doing? But
You look like you're being choked.
I'm just trying to hold everything in. It's desperate.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So let me finish.
We'll relax that a bit.
So then,
Go ahead.
when the first week of the new year, why do you feel like you could take on anything? You feel like you could take on the year? Why?
What are you talking about?
But it's only another day.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
I know you weren't listening. So
Call you Lisa?
Yes. Yeah, I'm the only one on your side. So at the end of the year, you feel exhausted. But
Yes.
then when the calendar changes during the January of the new year, you just feel
Rejuvenated.
yes.
No, you don't.
I was going to say reinvented.
No, you don't.
Do you not?
No. Why?
You feel like you could take on anything.
Maybe if you've had a couple of days off, you're feeling a bit, whoa, ho, bring it on.
It's a
Hey.
mental thing, isn't it? We're going into the new year. We're ready for anything, and we'll try anything. So I was just thinking, did that happen with you? No.
No. Right.
No, yes.
No, because to be honest, a lot of people in our game, musicians and DJs and all, by the time a new year comes along, you're punctured because you've been out working a load of nights, that kind of thing, So you only think about yourself, don't you? Right. We went to see The Adventures last Saturday.
Yes.
I left just at the end.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I thought it was a brilliant night. It really was.
It was
And
amazing.
then I hear stories the next day that the after show party,
Yeah.
my ma was at it.
So she was. So my mommy came
I was
around.
speaking of guys out of various bands, who all went to the after show party, like ligging about with the, the beautiful people. And Johnny, so I was talking to your mum last night. She was out about 3 a.m.
So she
What's
came.
that wee woman doing out at that time?
She came round to pick me up after the doctors, and she turned up, and I says, "Look, I'm going home." And then our Paul and Karen says, "Teresa, do you want to go to the after party?" She was out like a lilty.
Because we had tickets and all, yeah.
Yes, so she was out of the car like a lilty. I was the one that went home, and my mum went on.
She went to the after show party. All right. Because she was, I rang her. I says, were you at the party with all the bands and all? She says, I was talking to Paul Clark and I was talking to Terry out of the Adventures and I was talking to that fella at other band. I was talking to TC, the ex-producers. She was talking to all the bands, running around there like a Queen of Sheba.
But the thing is, you have to remember, and many parents today probably do the same thing. Whenever you were younger, she drove you everywhere. I mean, the band, the drums, the equipment. So she knew all these people.
Yes.
And so it's the same with people today driving their kids here, there, and everywhere. You know, they know all their friends or whatever, associates from when they were.
No, it was just wee messages the next day from people in various bands talking to your mummy. She's looking well, you know. And I was supposed to meet her on Sunday and she couldn't come up. She says, I'll not make it today. I says, I'm sure. Are you not well? I'm all right. I'm just a bit fragile. You know. All the rock and roll stars ligging away there. Anyway, when are you on your own Head the Ball radio show? So
tomorrow night from 7 o'clock until 12.
I have to say, and I put it on Facebook, I can't remember what night you were doing the quiz. It might have been Saturday, Sunday probably. I was listening to the quiz and I stood laughing my head off. It was just good crack.
Really?
You just had people on. Was it Frankie was one of the quizzers?
Frankie Brennan.
And then there was a crowd who were...
Holy sausage.
And they were shouting out and yo-hoing and everything else.
Jimmy, Shazza, June,
One of the questions was, what nationality was Christopher Columbus? Was he a Catholic? It was like... And then all you can hear in the background, ways up, you! Ways up! No, so that did it for me.
Yes.
You get the best quizzers, you really do. Anyway, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.